Good morning, everyone. I hope you all are safe at your home. So stay home and stay safe. This video is for the students of class 7th, subject English. In this video, we shall read our lesson number 2, that is Bringing Up Curry, from our book An Alien Hand, and this is my lecture number 1 for this video. This chapter will be completed in 3 lectures. Okay. So let's start our lesson number 2, that is Bringing Up Curry, from our An Alien Handbook. This chapter talks about Curry the elephant who was raised up or brought up by Dhan Gopal Mukherjee, who is his keeper. Now let's know about the author. The author of this chapter, or the narrator of this chapter, is Dhan Gopal Mukherjee, who was born on 6 July 1890 in West Bengal, and he died on 14 July 1936. He won John Newbery Medal also. Main characters of the story are Curry the elephant and Keeper, who is the narrator of the chapter. So, the introduction of the chapter is the story, that is Bringing Up Curry, is a narrative description of a small elephant named Curry. The narrator tells about the growth and habits of the elephant. This makes the reader aware of the routine of an elephant. Okay. So this chapter is basically divided in 3 parts. In this video, we shall read 2 parts, and in our next video, we shall read our third part. Okay. So the first part of the chapter talks about Curry, a 5-month-old baby elephant, lives and grows up with his 9-year-old friend and keeper. Curry does not eat much, just about 16 kilograms of delicious twigs a day. Twigs means small branches of a tree. Playful and sensitive, Curry saves a boy from drowning. So, Curry, who was a 5-month-old baby elephant, he lives with his 9 years old friend and keeper. He does not eat much, but only 16 kilograms of delicious branches of a tree in a day. He was very playful and sensitive, and once he saved the life of a drowning boy also. So the chapter starts like this. Curry the elephant was 5 months old when he was given to me to take care of. Here me refers to the author of the chapter. I was 9 years old and I could reach his back if I stood on tiptoe. He seemed to remain that high for nearly 2 years. Now the author is saying that when Curry was given to him to take care of, Curry was just 5 months old and the author was just 9 years old, and he was so small in height in comparison to Curry that he could barely reach his back. We grew together, that is probably why I never found out just how tall he was. He lived in a pavilion, means a large tent, under a thatched roof, means a roof made up of straws which rested on thick tree stumps. Stumps means lower or bottom part of the tree, so that it could not fall in when Curry bumped against the poles as he moved about. Now the author is saying that they both grew together, and this is the reason that the author was unable to find out how tall Curry was. Curry used to live in a large tent under a thatched roof which was supported by the bottom parts of the tree so that it could not fall. One of the first things Curry did was to save the life of a boy. How? Curry did not eat much, but he nevertheless needed 40 pounds of twigs a day to chew and play with. Every day I used to take him to the river in the morning for his bath. Now the author is saying that Once Curry saved the life of a boy also, and he did not eat much, but he needs 40 pounds of twigs in a day to chew and play with. Okay, and every day author used to take Curry to the river so that he could take their bath. He would lie down on the sand bank while I rubbed him with clean sand of the river for an hour. Now Curry used to lie down on the sand bank and the author rubbed him with the clean sand of the river for an hour. After that he would lie in the water for a long time. On coming out his skin would be shining like ebony. Ebony is a hard black wood, and he would squeal or cry with pleasure as I rubbed water down his back. Now the author tells that Curry used to lie down on the sandbank and author used to rub him with the clean sand of the river. After that Curry goes in the water and stays there for a long time. When he comes out of the river, his skin shines like ebony, and he would cry with pleasure as the author rubbed water down his back. Then I would take him by the ear because that is the easiest way to lead an elephant, and leave him on the edge of the jungle while I went into the forest to get some luscious twigs dinner. Now, after taking bath, the author take Curry by his ear because that is the easiest way to lead an elephant to the forest, and would leave him on the edge of the jungle while he himself went into the forest to get some twigs for Curry for his dinner. One has to have a very sharp hatchet to cut down these twigs. Hatchet is a tool for cutting the trees. It takes half an hour to sharpen the hatchet because if a twig is mutilated, an elephant will not touch it. Mutilated means damaged. Now the author is explaining his problems that for cutting the trees he had to sharpen the hatchet so that the twig will be cut in very perfect shape, because if a twig is damaged then the elephant will not touch it. It was not an easy job to get twigs and saplings for Curry. Now he is explaining his problems more. I had to climb all kinds of trees to get the most delicate and tender twigs. As he was very fond of the young branches of the banyan tree, which grows like a cathedral of leaves and branches. Cathedral, you can say group of leaves. Okay. Now the author is saying that it was not an easy job for getting twigs and saplings for Curry. He had to climb all kinds of trees to get the best twigs for Curry. Curry was very fond of young branches of banyan tree. Okay, I was gathering some one spring day in March when I suddenly heard Curry calling to me in the distance. As he was still very young, the call was more like that of a baby than an elephant. Now the author tells that one fine day he was gathering saplings and twigs for Curry for dinner. He suddenly heard Curry calling him. But because he was young, so his call was not like of an elephant, it was more like of a baby. I thought somebody was hurting him, so I came down from my tree and ran very fast to the edge of the forest, where I had left him, but he was not there. Now, hearing Curry's call, the author was very scared. He came down the tree and ran towards the position or towards the place where he had left Curry. But when he reached there, he found that Curry was not at that place. So where was he? I looked all over, but I could not find him. I went near the edge of the water and I saw a black something struggling above its surface. Now, searching Curry, the author reached the water and he saw that something black was struggling above the surface of the river. Then it rose higher and it was trunk of my elephant. Then when the black surface rose higher, at that time the author realized that it was the trunk of Curry. I thought he was drowning. Now he was very scared. The author was very scared because he thought that Curry was drowning. I was helpless because I could not jump into the water and save the 400 pounds of him since he was much higher than I. At that time, the author was feeling so helpless because he was not a very good swimmer, one thing, and the second thing that he could not save an elephant from drowning because he was much higher than him. But I saw his back rise above the water, and the moment he caught my eye, he began to trumpet or to cry and struggle up to the shore. Then, still trumpeting or crying, he pushed me into the water, and as I fell into the stream, I saw a boy lying flat on the bottom of the river. He had not altogether touched bottom, but was somewhat afloat. Now, the author saw the Curry's back above the water, and the moment Curry and author looked into each other's eye, he began to cry. Curry began to cry and was struggling to coming towards shore. Then, still trumpeting, he pushed me into the water. Then, when Curry was still crying, he pushed the author into the water. Author fell into the stream, and when he fell into the stream, he saw that a boy was floating on the river. Okay. I came to the surface of the water to take my breath. Now, when Curry pushed the author into the water, he went inside the water, so he came on the surface of the water so that he could take his breath. And there Curry was standing, his feet planted in the sand bank and his trunk stretched out like a hand waiting for mine. And when he came out for taking a breath, the author saw that Curry was standing on the river bank and was waiting with his stretched trunk and was standing with his stretched trunk and was waiting for the author to come out. I dived down again and pulled the body of drowning boy to the surface. Then the author again went inside the water and took the drowning boy on the surface. Not being a good swimmer, I could not swim ashore, and the slow current was already dragging me down. As the author was not a very good swimmer, so he was not able to take himself and the drowning boy towards the bank of the river, and the waves or the slow current of the river was already dragging him downwards in the river. Seeing us drift by in the current, Curry, who was usually slow and ponderous, suddenly darted down like a hawk and came halfway into the water, where I saw him stretched out his trunk again. Now, when Curry saw the author and the drowning boy were in danger, he was very slow and clumsy usually, but when he saw both of them in danger, he became like a hawk and he suddenly moved downward into the water and stretched his trunk again so that he could save both of them. I raised up my hand to catch it and it slipped. The author also tried to touch his trunk and came out, but he was unable to do it. I found myself going under the water again, but this time I found that the water was not very deep. So I sank to the bottom of the river and doubled my feet under me, and then suddenly kicked the river bed and so shot upwards like an arrow, in spite of the fact that I was holding the drowning boy with my hand. Now, but when Curry was trying to save the drowning boy and the author realized that the water was not so deep. So he tried to kick himself upward the water, holding the drowning boy with his hand. As my body rose above the water, I felt a lasso around my neck. Lasso is a rope. Lasso means a kind of rope. This frightened me. Now, when the author was trying to save himself and the drowning boy, suddenly he felt a rope around his neck. This scared him. I thought some water animal was going to swallow me. Now, the author thought that there was a water animal and he is just going to eat them. I heard Curry squealing, and I know it was his trunk about my neck. Then suddenly the author heard Curry crying, and he understood that it was no water animal, it was Curry's trunk. He pulled us both ashore, and Curry took both of them to the river bank, and he saved both of their life, both of them. Now, this was the first part of the chapter. Now, the second part of the chapter talks about Curry becomes fond of ripe bananas. He believes in self help, much to the discomfort of his friend. With quiet dignity, Curry accepts the chiding he knows he deserves. Chiding is the blame. Okay, so now in this second part, we shall read all these 3 points. Curry was like a baby. He had to be trained to be good, and if you did not tell him when he was naughty, he was up to more mischief than ever. For instance, one day somebody gave him some bananas to eat. Very soon he developed a great love for ripe bananas. We used to keep large plates of fruit on a table near a window in the dining room. Now, the author tells that Curry was just like a baby and he had to be trained for everything, that what is good and what is bad. Because if you do not tell him, then he was very naughty and he was up to more mischief or up to more naughty things. For example, he said that one day somebody gave him some ripe bananas and he suddenly started loving bananas. When the author used to keep large plates of fruit on the dining table near the window, then what happened? One day, all the bananas on that table disappeared, and my family blamed the servants for eating all the fruit in the house. A few days later, the fruit disappeared again. This time, the blame was put on me, and I knew I had not done it. Now, the author is saying that when they used to keep bananas on the dining table, he noticed that one day they disappeared and the family blamed the servants of the house that they have eaten them. Then again they disappeared one day. At that time, the family blamed the author for it, and the author knew that he had not done it. It made me very angry with my parents and the servants, for I was sure they had taken all the fruit. Now, listening that he had done the mistake which he had really not done, the author was very angry. The next time the fruit disappeared, I found a banana all smashed up in Curry's pavilion. Now, as the author had not done any mistake and still he was blamed for that, now the author was very sure that there something is wrong. So next time when the fruit disappeared, he found that a banana was all smashed and was there in Curry's tent. This surprised me very much. Now the author was very surprised, for I had never seen fruit there, and as you know, he had always lived on twigs. And why was he surprised? Because elephant means Curry used to eat only twigs, and now there was a fruit in his tent. So that's why the author was very surprised now. Next day, while I was sitting in the dining room wondering whether I should take some fruit from the table without my parents' permission, a long black thing, very much like a snake, suddenly came through the window and disappeared with all the bananas. Now, next day, the author was sitting on the dining table and he was thinking that I should take some fruits without my parents' permission or not. At that time, suddenly, a large thing, just like a snake, came and took all the bananas from the dining table. Now, what was that? I was very much frightened because I had never seen snakes eat bananas, and I thought it must be a terrible snake that would sneak in and take fruit. Now, the author was very scared because he had never heard and never seen that snakes would eat bananas. I crept out of the room and, with a great fear in my heart, ran out of the house. Now, he was very scared and he ran out of the house, feeling sure that the snake would come back into the house, eat all the fruit, and kill all of us. Now, the author was thinking that the snake is very dangerous and he would come back and eat all the fruits and kill all of them. As I went out, I saw Curry's back disappearing in the direction of the pavilion, and I was so frightened that I wanted his company to cheer me up. Now, when the author was very scared and he was running out of the house, he saw that Curry was going towards his tent, and the author was really very frightened, so he thought that I should be with him so that his company would cheer me up. I ran after him into the pavilion and I found him there eating bananas. Now, when the author reached the pavilion or Curry's tent, he saw that Curry was eating bananas. I stood still in astonishment. The bananas were lying strewn all round him. Now, when the author reached Curry's tent, he saw that he was eating bananas and he was completely shocked and surprised because the bananas were scattered all around him. He stretched out his trunk and reached for one far away from where he was standing. That instant the trunk looked like a black snake. Now the author realized that the snake which he saw, that was not a snake, that was Curry's trunk. And I realized that Curry was the thief. And at that time the author realized that it was Curry who was stealing all the bananas from all those days. I went to him, pulled him out by the ear, and joyously showed my parents that it was Curry and not I that had eaten all the fruit these many weeks. At that time, the author was very surprised also, very happy also, and very angry also. So he took Curry with his ear to his parents and told them it was Curry who was stealing all the bananas from all those days, not the author. Then I scolded him, for elephants understand words as well as children, and I said to him, next time I see you stealing fruits, you will be whipped. Whipped means hit hard. He knew that we were all angry with him, even the servants. His pride was so injured that he never stole another thing from the dining room. Now the author was so angry and he scolded Curry and told him that next time if he was found stealing fruits, he will be bitten. So his pride was so injured, he was so badly, he was feeling very bad that from that day he never stole anything from the dining table. So this was the example which the author gave to show that how naughty the Curry was. And from then on or from then onwards, if anybody gave him any fruit, he always squealed or cried as if to thank them. Now Curry learnt a lesson, and now if anybody gave him any fruit, he did not take it and he cried and thanked them. An elephant is willing to be punished for having done wrong, but if you punish him without any reason, he will remember it and pay you back in your own coin. Now, the author is telling about the behavior of an elephant, that he is always willing to be punished if he has done something wrong, but if he has not done something wrong and if you still punished him, then he will always remember it and will definitely pay you back in your own words or in your own coin. Okay, so this was your first and second part of your lesson number 2, bringing up Curry. Now in our next lecture, we shall complete this chapter. Okay. Now your homework is you have to read lesson number 2, bringing up Curry from an Indian handbook, and write word meanings highlighted in the video. Based on the understanding of the chapter, write the answers of the following questions in your rough notebook. So the question answers which you have to do in your rough notebooks are: first, the enclosure in which Curry lived had a thatched roof that lay on thick tree stumps. Examine the illustration of Curry's pavilion on page number 8 and say why it was built that way. I repeat, the enclosure in which Curry lived had a thatched roof that lay on thick tree stumps. Examine the illustration of Curry's pavilion on page number 8 and say why it was built that way. Second, did Curry enjoy his morning bath in the river? Give a reason for your answer. I repeat, did Curry enjoy his morning bath in the river? Give a reason for your answer. Third, finding good twigs for Curry took a long time. Why? I repeat, finding good twigs for Curry took a long time. Why? So this was your chapter, that is lesson number 2, bringing up Curry. and in this video we discussed two parts of this chapter. Now third part will be discussed in my next video. So I hope you like this video, and if you like this video then please subscribe our channel also.